Middle East.
Flash floods remain a threat in portions of the Northeast following those severe storms that swept through in the past 24 hours. Areas in eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York receiving 3 to 6 inches of rainfall. Here's ABC's Ginger Z.
We are going to see this same system produce more rain, and that's why we've got an area today of a level 3 out of 4, which is high, right? From Connecticut right through western Massachusetts into southern Vermont. You could easily see 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates, 2 to 4 inch totals on top of what you've already had. We will finally spin this thing out of here by Friday morning.
The nation's midsection and western states, meantime, dealing with searing heat. You're listening to ABC News.
As we celebrate 250 years of freedom, freedom to govern ourselves, freedom to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, let me ask you a question. What does financial freedom look like today, and do you have it? Because it looks like insulation from inflation. It looks like a hedge against global instability and global divestment from the US dollar. It looks a lot like owning physical gold. It's Stephen Gardner for Monetary Gold, who have been helping Americans diversify with gold for the past 26 years. Did you know you can own physical gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account? Learn how with a free copy of Gold in Modern America from Monetary Gold. Claim it at StephenLovesGold.com. Find freedom with gold. Visit StephenLovesGold.com or call 800-608-1770 for a one-on-one consultation. Claim your free guide at StephenLovesGold.com or call 800-608-1770. Performance may vary. Consult your tax and financial professional.
In Massachusetts, the trial of Lindsay Clancy resumed today. She's accused of killing her 3 young children in 2023. Her attorneys say Clancy suffered from postpartum psychosis and did not receive adequate care for her mental health at the time. ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer says Clancy broke down in court as the 911 calls from that incident were being played.
This is a case where she is claiming, like other states claim, insanity. Here they call it a lack of criminal intent. So if the idea is she did not understand what she was doing at the time, and now the presumption is that she's properly medicated and understands what's going around her, she is realizing and seeing once again how tragic her actions led to the death of her own children. So crying would make sense, but that's if you believe her. If you don't, I can see a jury looking at her and saying, you're faking this. You know what you did, and you're trying to gain sympathy from us.
Schools are now turning to drones to help combat active shooters. ABC's Sophie Flay explains.
The aircraft, called Campus Guardian Angel, can ram into a threat at 50 miles per hour. Mithril Defense, the company behind the drone, says they'll be stored at the schools so teachers can activate them during an emergency. But some parents are raising concerns.
They are operated remotely from Texas.
Critics also argue the drones could misidentify a threat, and they argue school resources should go towards preventing gun violence.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is the News Radio KONP Noon Report.
Todd Orth live from the KONP News Center. Here's a look at what's happening on this Wednesday, July 29th. A Port Angeles man facing multiple felony charges after police say he kicked in the doors of 2 apartments and ransacked them early Saturday morning. Port Angeles police responded to a burglary in progress about 3 a.m. Saturday in an apartment complex on West 8th Street. Officers found evidence that 2 apartment doors had been kicked in before they found 20-year-old Joshua Royal inside one of the units. Police say Royal appeared intoxicated and told officers he was in the military and he had been assigned to do it as part of a military exercise. Investigators say one apartment had furniture overturned and belongings scattered throughout. The tenant was out of town and told police they had never met the suspect. Royal was booked into the county jail on 2 counts of residential burglary, along with charges of malicious mischief and malicious harassment. Investigators say they found no evidence that Royal knew either of the victims. Clallam County Sheriff's Office says it believes a string of recent coffee stand burglaries near Port Angeles may be connected. Chief Criminal Deputy Amy Bundy says detectives have arrested a suspect in one of the break-ins while continuing to investigate the others. The arrest stems from a burglary reported at the Coffee Cottage shortly before 5:45 Sunday morning. Authorities say 49-year-old Port Angeles resident Joshua Merca was booked into the Clallam County Jail yesterday on a burglary charge in that case. The Sheriff's Office has received reports that as many as 3 coffee stands may have been targeted over the weekend, although Bundy says investigators have not yet confirmed that total yet. A 69-year-old man has been sentenced to 15 years in federal prison for a drug trafficking scheme that unraveled here on the Olympic Peninsula beaches. John Michael Sherwood was convicted of drug trafficking and international money laundering charges after investigators linked him to hundreds of pounds of methamphetamine and nearly a kilogram of fentanyl discovered near Port Angeles back in 2021. The case began when a family found a duffel bag filled with drugs on a local beach. Days later, authorities recovered 7 more bags containing about 340 pounds of meth. Prosecutors said Sherwood transported the drugs from Southern California and planned to smuggle them into Canada across the strait using a jet ski and an inflatable raft. Instead, the drugs were abandoned and washed ashore. Investigators tied Sherwood to the operation through financial records, storage rentals, and cell phone data. At the sentencing, the judge called him, quote, a madman desperate for money, willing to do anything, noting the enormous harm the drugs could have caused. Olympic Medical Center commissioners expected to vote today on a plan to refinance the hospital's outstanding bond debt. During a special meeting on Monday, commissioners reviewed a resolution that would authorize the refinancing, but delayed action until another special meeting set for this morning. Hospital officials said refinancing is intended to provide greater financial flexibility as interest rates have risen. Commissioners also discussed extending repayment from 20 years to 30 years, which could lower the annual debt payments despite higher borrowing costs. Interim Chief Financial Officer Dennis Spillman told commissioners the hospital has remained current on all principal and interest payments, but previously violated a bond covenant. He said OMC has been working with Key Bank, which has supported the refinancing effort. More news after this.
Looking for affordable home ownership on the peninsula? Mountain View Homes has you covered. Enjoy high-quality craftsmanship at 40% less than traditional homes. You heard me, 40% less. We offer full-service land packages from dirt to turnkey, delivering beautiful, efficient manufactured homes on your chosen site. With 3 convenient locations, including Carlsberg, we're here to serve you. Visit mtviewhomes.com today to learn more. Mountain View Homes, where affordability meets quality.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, Carrie Chance, Executive Director of the Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts, joins us with a preview of the upcoming rebirth of Arts in Action in downtown Port Angeles. Then Amanda Bacon returns with another edition of Bacon Bits.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy, Farmers Insurance.
Wherever life takes you on the North Olympic Peninsula and beyond, take Radio Pacific with you. Download the free Radio Pacific app and listen live to News Radio KONP, Z104.9 Classic Hits, and the Straight 102 Country, all in one place. Stay connected with local news and your favorite music, plus you're eligible for exclusive discounts at local businesses. Everything you love about local radio, right in your pocket. Download the Radio Pacific app today on Apple or Android and take the North Olympic Peninsula with you.
In other news, Clallam County public health officials defended the county's harm reduction center yesterday while acknowledging they need better ways to show the public the program's working. During a presentation to the Port Angeles Business Association, officials described the downtown center located in the alley behind the Port of Port Angeles Administration Building as a hub for overdose prevention, disease prevention, and connections to housing, treatment, and other community services. Health and Human Services Director Kevin Lopiccolo said the county doesn't view harm reduction programs, including syringe exchange, as treatment, but as a way to help build trust with people who may eventually seek better help.
I'm not here to sell that what we do brings people to treatment, but it's a hub that allows that opportunity for people to receive treatment.
Now, much of the discussion focused on business owners' questions about how the county measures the program's success. HHS Public Health Nurse Manager Chelsea Krause said participant anonymity makes it impossible to track individual outcomes, but the county has started collecting more detailed referral information, trying to better demonstrate results.
Starting this year, we're going into specificity. So now it'll be like we did a warm handoff for a phone. We did a warm handoff for connection to treatment. So our hope is to be able to connect the dots a little bit more comprehensively for the community in that way. But ultimately, we do have to honor the anonymity of our program. So we're never going to be able to collect names or dates of birth.
Business leaders also questioned the program's impact on crime and downtown safety. LaPiccolo acknowledged the link between drugs and crime, but said he doesn't believe the Harm Reduction Center is the actual cause. Instead, he argued the program is one part of a broader response to substance use disorder and questioned whether closing it would actually solve the community's underlying problems. A bipartisan group of 44 Washington lawmakers is urging Governor Bob Ferguson and the Department of Social and Health Services to preserve the Parent-to-Parent program, which supports families of children with autism and other developmental disabilities. In a letter sent Monday, lawmakers acknowledged the state's budget challenges, but called the $900,000 a year program a worthwhile investment. Parent-to-Parent matches families with experienced parents to help them navigate services and build support networks. The program serves all 39 counties and receives tens of thousands of requests for assistance each year. The program's future is uncertain beyond August as DSHS reviews potential budget cuts. The ARC of Washington State, which oversees parent-to-parent under a state contract, says eliminating the program could leave vulnerable families without any critical support. State officials say no final funding decisions have been made yet. And low-income drivers in Washington will soon be able to get a 50% discount on tolls along parts of State Route 509 and State Route 167 in the Puget Sound region, and perhaps expanding to other tollways. The State Transportation Commission approved the program last week. Enrollment begins this fall, with discounts taking effect in December. Eligible drivers must have household incomes at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, and you have to use a good-to-go pass. The discount applies only to two-axle vehicles and does not cover pay-by-mail tolls. Officials say the program is the state's first income-based toll discount and could eventually expand to other toll facilities, including the Highway 520 Bridge, Interstate 405, and the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. This is News Radio KONP.
Looking for the next place to call home? Come tour Lavender Meadows and Swim. Beautiful, affordable homes for active 55-plus adults. Our modern, low-maintenance homes give you more time to enjoy life. More than a home, you'll enjoy community, active lifestyle, value, and security. We're confident you'll appreciate the modern amenities too. Come tour Lavender Meadows and Swim or online at lavendermeadowsmhc.com.
Come see Price Ford when shopping for your next new or pre-owned vehicle. How about a new Ford F-150 for those tough tasks, a sleek Ford Mustang, or a versatile Escape for your daily commute? Price Ford has a comprehensive selection for every need and budget. Our knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect vehicle that fits your lifestyle and budget. Price Ford, next to Walmart in Port Angeles, or priceford.com.
If you love
all my exes live in Texas.
If you love
Ain't going down till the sun comes up. Ain't giving in till they get enough.
If you love
a little bit of chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night,
then you'll love the Straight 102.
It's your love, it just does something to me.
Country music's most iconic stars play here. The Straight 102.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Mainly sunny skies this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 64. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies again tonight. Lows level off around 50. Daytime highs approaching 65 tomorrow. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 68 Friday with a slight chance of rain. Thunderstorms likely 62 on Saturday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 62 Sunday, 67 Monday, and 71 on Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, it's 59 degrees.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Final few days before the baseball trade deadline. The Yankees looking for another win against the White Sox on Tuesday. Have some key pieces on the IL. Had to go to the bottom of the order to find offense.
Chopped over the head and into the outfield. A base hit for Schumann. Grisham scores. Volpe scores. It's a two-run double for Schumann, and the Yankees lead 3-0.
Call from the Yes Network. Max Schumann, 2-run double, the big blow in a 3-2 Yankees win. Garrett Cole outstanding. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. His third start this season, going 6 scoreless, his first since the end of May. In the NFL, the Eagles locking in a key piece of their defense on Tuesday, signing former first-round pick Jalen Carter to a 4-year, $152 million extension worth up to $160 million. Carter has been named a Pro Bowler each of the last 2 seasons. ESPN's Herm Edwards on his impact.
He's a disruptor. I mean, he can blow things up inside. I mean, and that's the scary part. You got to double him. You can't allow him to just try to single up on him because he can make things very, very bad for offenses. So, they needed to get him, obviously. This is a big part of their team when you think about the Eagles.
Carter's deal including $106 million guaranteed, the contract the richest for a defensive tackle in NFL history in guaranteed money and average annual value. In the NBA, Draymond Green signing a 1-year, $27.7 million deal to return to the Warriors. His 14-season run with the team, the second longest active streak for a player in the NBA, trailing only his teammate Steph Curry. WNBA, the Fever take down the Storm 105-95. Big night for Caitlin Clark. She had 32, hitting 4 3-pointers.
In local sports, the Wilder Baseball Club set to open play today at the Babe Ruth World Series in Branson, Missouri. The PA-based squad faces Highlands, Indiana in its tournament opener, 10 a.m. our time. Wilder earned an invitation to the World Series after a strong showing at the Pacific Northwest Regional Tournament in Calgary, where the club finished 3-1. Port Angeles lefties mounted a furious 9th-inning rally last night, but came up 1 run short in a 6-5 loss to the Victoria Harbor Cats. Lefties continue their series in Victoria tonight.
Swung on, hit high, deep, center field. Has he done it again? Warning track wall, sail away, Dom Canzone. He has done it again. His second home run of the night, and the Mariners have the lead 7-5. Dom blasts another one dead center field. An unbelievable night here at Dodger Stadium.
Dominic Canzone hit that tie-breaking 2-run homer, his second long ball of the game and his 5th for Seattle in the 8th inning, rallying the Mariners past the LA Dodgers 7-6 last night in the series opener. The Dodgers and Mariners at it again this evening, 6 o'clock airtime here on KONP, brought to you by Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales.
This is Ed from Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales. Our family has trucked hay to feed the hungry animals in Western Washington for 4 generations. In that time, we have built a growing legacy of serving the needs of our customers, and we've never stopped. In 2014, we ventured into the equipment world by becoming a dealer and service provider for Mahindra tractors. Since then, we have partnered with quality brands such as Bad Boy, Aaron's Gravely, LS Tractor, Husqvarna, Snake River Trailers, and now Wacker Neuson Construction Equipment. We have a 3-bay shop where we not only service the brands we sell, but we also work on most major brands including Kubota, John Deere, and New Holland. We carry a wide variety of parts, filters, belts, and fluids. We have a fully stocked hydraulic shop and can build hoses for most machines while you wait. Chainsaw or weed eater needs some TLC, we work on small engines too. We even offer welding and fabrication services. We have been earning the Peninsula's trust for over 25 years with your animal's care. We look forward to earning your trust with your equipment's care too.
News Radio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The Federal Reserve left its key interest rate unchanged despite persistently high inflation and a spike in energy prices caused by the Iran war. The Fed's rate-setting committee reached the 9-3 decision after 2 days of deliberations, marking the 5th straight meeting at which the benchmark rate was kept at around 3.6%. The Federal Trade Commission, Utah, and Los Angeles County have sued Hims & Hers Health for allegedly misleading people about its products and sharing their private health information with Meta and Snap. The lawsuit alleges Hims failed to disclose to consumers that they were purchasing a subscription, made it too difficult to cancel, and misled them about the privacy of their information. Hims shares are down more than 10%. Wisconsin public worker and teachers unions have suffered a legal setback as they seek to regain the collective bargaining rights they lost 15 years ago. A state appeals court has just overturned a ruling that restored the rights unions lost under a 2011 state law. Matt Piper, Bloomberg Radio.
What's as beautiful as a sunny summer day? A summer sale big enough to make you step inside Angela's Furniture for their huge Beauty Rest sale. Right now, you'll find the Beauty Rest Level 1 Medium Tight Top Queen Mattress for only $679. Step it up a notch to the Level 2 Medium Tight Top or Extra Firm Top Mattress for just $949. These deals aren't all they have in store either. Get the refreshing sleep you deserve today on your brand new Beauty Rest, only at Angela's Furniture.
Your birth experience should feel like yours. Come meet the midwives who can make that happen. Meet Our Midwives is a free monthly open house at Olympic Medical Center, where you can get to know our certified nurse midwives, tour our birth center, and start planning the birth that feels right for you. Join us the first Tuesday of every month at 5:30 p.m. in the Olympic Memorial Hospital Sunroom. Learn more at olympicmedical.org/meetourmidwives.
News Radio KONP, traffic and roads.
All right, up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center we go now, and that is where Steve's standing by with a look at the noontime traffic for us. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, we're doing pretty good out there overall. Really not much of a challenge making your way around town. It's a little bit on the busy side, but traffic is moving pretty close to the speed limit. Just a few slowdowns in areas like coming into downtown Port Angeles or along Washington Street around the Swim Avenue area, but overall, not much of a problem getting around. If you're on the highway between the two cities, no problems out there as well. Traffic is moving right at the speed limit. Beyond the Swim area, Hood Canal Bridge, currently good to go with no scheduled marine openings. And state ferries, well, pretty much running on time. We do have a couple of ferries that are running behind on the Bainbridge Island run and some other ferries, so just plan on some delays if you're headed over in that direction. If you're headed out to the west end, we're in good shape all the way out to the Forks area. A couple little construction areas there out around the Dry Creek area. But other than that, things moving along pretty smoothly. So everybody take care, be safe out there. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. Your weather forecast calls for sunshine the rest of the day today, mid-60s to maybe about 70. Clear tonight, lows in the mid-40s to low 50s, mostly sunny again tomorrow, and we'll hit the mid-60s to about 70. And Friday, back with more sunshine with highs in the upper 60s to mid-70s as well. Right now in Port Townsend, 62. Out west, Forks now at 67. Squim's got 69, and here in Port Angeles, out at Fairchild Airport, it is 63 degrees.
Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. As a parent, when you send your kid off to school in the morning, you know that they're going to be learning, they're going to be spending time with their friends. But a new study out of UCSF found adolescents are spending an average of 70 minutes of their school day on their phones. Now, some kids will say they need their phones to help with schoolwork, but this study found that they were spending the vast majority of their screen time on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. Not really apps that you're going to be turning to for homework help. Now, the study's lead author said, don't blame kids for using their phones at school. Teach them how to resist them. Focus on what they'd get by putting them aside rather than what you're taking away. Explain how phones could hurt their academic performance, and also remind them of this. Nothing takes the place of real face-to-face friendships. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart, and this is One Moment in America. If you're like me, every day ideas come into your head. Dreams, ideals, callings to act on. But if we're being called to act, why is there so little real action? I'll tell you why after this important message.
Hello, Kelly Stewart here for Liberty Village. We are so excited to be part of this 32-acre American history attraction in southern Utah that transfers visitors back to the 18th century. By visiting Liberty Village, you will experience a unique educational journey that highlights the importance of America's founding ideals. Join us as we celebrate the history and heritage that unite us. To build future exhibits, they need your support. Your gift helps support live reenactments and education to inspire future generations. You can donate by getting a legacy brick or a single donation. Find out more at libertyvillage.org. The Green Dragon Tavern is opening soon on Target this fall with exact dates to be announced later this summer. See where the Founding Fathers met and discussed their beliefs. Like who? John Hancock and Paul Revere. To plan your experience, go to libertyvillage.org or call 435-275-2850 and schedule your tour. See you there.
There's a lot of talk today about actions and accomplishments, but most people never act on anything. Why? Fear. Fear of failure, fear of losing, fear of being embarrassed or mocked or ridiculed. So most just stay paralyzed, doing nothing. A wise man once said, courage, true courage, is doing what you are afraid to do. Even courageous people are fearful. In fact, the quote goes on to say that there can be no real courage unless you are scared. Feel a calling, but you are scared? Ask Almighty God for courage. I'm Jerry Stewart, and that was One Moment in America.
Bathfitter is celebrating over 42,000 installations in Western Washington. That's 42,000 bathrooms made safer, cleaner, and more stylish. Right now, get free installation and no-interest financing for 24 months on the bathroom of your dreams. Custom-fit tub and shower solutions installed in as little as 1 day with complete removal of your old setup, backed by a lifetime warranty. Visit bathfitternw.com for your free consultation. Special financing for qualified buyers only.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, Carrie Chance, Executive Director of the Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts, joins us with a preview of the upcoming rebirth of Arts in Action in downtown Port Angeles. Then Amanda Bacon returns with another edition of Bacon Bits.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy, Farmers Insurance.
In a world where prices keep climbing and uncertainty seems to change by the hour, local businesses are carrying a lot. And here at KONP, we see that. For more than 80 years, KONP has been part of this community. We've celebrated your grand openings, shared your stories, and helped local businesses connect with local people. Because when our businesses succeed, our community shines a little brighter. Marketing shouldn't feel overwhelming. It should feel like having a trusted partner in your corner. That's where we come in. Whether your budget is big, small, or somewhere in between, we can create a marketing plan built around your goals, your customers, and your needs, reaching your customers immediately, right here at home. Don't go it alone. Let's sit down, get creative, and grow together. KONP Radio, proudly serving our community and the businesses that keep it moving. Call us at 360-457-1450, and let's partner up.
News this hour at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Dr. Anthony Fauci today repeatedly invoked the Fifth Amendment as he appeared before the Senate Homeland Security Committee. He declined to answer questions, dozens of them, in fact, about the way he handled the COVID-19 pandemic. Chairman Rand Paul was not happy.
The committee will have to consider, after this hearing, what appropriate action should be taken against you for the failure to testify after being directed to do so. It's against the law to obstruct an investigation of Congress. There will be repercussions to your refusal to testify today.
Dr. Fauci explained his reasoning.
Therefore, although it pains me to do so because of the respect I have for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions. Thank you.
Fauci declined to answer more than 50 times. That injects still more drama into partisan divides that have festered for years about the origins of the pandemic and how it was handled at the time by government officials, foremost of whom was Mr. Fauci. There's another attempt by Donald Trump to have multi-million-dollar defamation verdicts tossed out.
President Donald Trump and the Justice Department are asking the Supreme Court to toss an $83 million defamation verdict, won by writer E. Jean Carroll, saying he can't be sued for comments he made while he was president during his first term, invoking the Westfall Act. It's the second time that Trump has asked the court to nix damages awarded to Carroll. The justices refused to hear his appeal for a 2023 jury verdict for $5 million that found Trump liable for remarks he made after his first term ended. That judgment has now been paid. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
On Wall Street, the Dow was down 499 points. More from townhall.com.
Full speed into summer, and if you're thinking about buying a home this year, here's what you need to do first. Get pre-qualified. Not once you found the house, now before you even start looking. Here's why. In this market, houses sell in days, sometimes hours. The buyers who win aren't the ones with the highest offer. They're the ones already approved, ready to move, with a lender who can actually close. If you're not pre-qualified, you're a week behind. Maybe that house is gone. Well, I want to tell you about Fellowship Home Loans. For over 20 years, my friends Mike and Brian, guys that I've worked with, they've built Fellowship around one thing, getting loans done for real families with unique situations. They use programs and options that typical lenders don't take the time to explore. Down payment solutions that fit the way people actually live. Everything's done in-house, one roof, one team, all with a servant-led mentality. Get pre-qualified today. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G or call 800-510-MIKE. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
The ongoing threat of rising energy prices has Italy taking a second look at nuclear power.
Nearly 40 years after Italy abandoned nuclear power following the Chernobyl disaster, Premier Giorgia Meloni's government is laying the groundwork for a return to atomic energy. Officials argue rising electricity demand and energy security concerns require a broader mix of low-carbon power sources, including next-generation reactors. Public opinion appears to be shifting, especially among younger Italians who view nuclear energy as a tool for meeting climate and energy goals rather than through the lens of past accidents. Keith Peters reporting.
The Federal Reserve has left the key interest rate unchanged today as they wrap up a two-day policy-setting session here in the nation's capital. The Fed's rate-setting committee reached a 9-3 decision after 2 days of deliberations, marking the fifth straight meeting with the benchmark rate kept around 3.6%. More from townhall.com. Russia is charging Telegram founder Pavel Durov with aiding terrorism and put him on the wanted list.
The announcement came a day after President Vladimir Putin called the past 5 years a difficult and critical period for Russia. The charges against Pavel Durov come as Russia restricts Telegram, one of the most popular messaging apps in the country. Durov earlier this year said the Russian authorities opened a criminal investigation against him and accused them of fabricating pretexts to restrict access to Telegram. I'm Karen Shamas.
The U.S. Federal Communications Commission, I should say, is now banning imports of new foreign-made humanoid robots and power inverters. The move targets China, which dominates the global market for humanoid robots. The FCC's ban also includes quadruped robots, often called robot dogs. More on these stories can be found at townhall.com.
This is the News Radio KONP Noon Report.
Todd Ort live for the KONP News Center. Here's a look at what's happening on this Wednesday, July 29th. A Port Angeles man facing multiple felony charges after police say he kicked in the doors of 2 apartments and ransacked them early Saturday morning. Port Angeles police responded to a burglary in progress about 3 a.m. Saturday in an apartment complex on West 8th Street. Officers found evidence that 2 apartment doors had been kicked in before they found 20-year-old Joshua Royal inside one of the units. Police say Royal appeared intoxicated and told officers he was in the military and he had been assigned to do it as part of a military exercise. Investigators say one apartment had furniture overturned and belongings scattered throughout. The tenant was out of town and told police they had never met the suspect. Royal was booked into the county jail on 2 counts of residential burglary, along with charges of malicious mischief and malicious harassment. Investigators say they found no evidence that Royal knew either of the victims. Clallam County Sheriff's Office says it believes a string of recent coffee stand burglaries near Port Angeles may be connected. Chief Criminal Deputy Amy Bundy says detectives have arrested a suspect in one of the break-ins while continuing to investigate the others. The arrest stems from a burglary reported at the Coffee Cottage shortly before 5:45 Sunday morning. Authorities say 49-year-old Port Angeles resident Joshua Merca was booked into the Clallam County Jail yesterday on a burglary charge in that case. The Sheriff's Office has received reports that as many as 3 coffee stands may have been targeted over the weekend, although Bundy says investigators have not yet confirmed that total yet. A 69-year-old man has been sentenced to 15 years in federal prison for a drug trafficking scheme that unraveled here on the Olympic Peninsula beaches. John Michael Sherwood was convicted of drug trafficking and international money laundering charges after investigators linked him to hundreds of pounds of methamphetamine and nearly a kilogram of fentanyl discovered near Port Angeles back in 2021. The case began when a family found a duffel bag filled with drugs on a local beach. Days later, authorities recovered 7 more bags containing about 340 pounds of meth. Prosecutors said Sherwood transported the drugs from Southern California and planned to smuggle them into Canada across the strait using a jet ski and an inflatable raft. Instead, the drugs were abandoned and washed ashore. Investigators tied Sherwood to the operation through financial records, storage rentals, and cell phone data. At the sentencing, the judge called him, quote, a madman desperate for money, willing to do anything, noting the enormous harm the drugs could have caused. Olympic Medical Center commissioners expected to vote today on a plan to refinance the hospital's outstanding bond debt. During a special meeting on Monday, commissioners reviewed a resolution that would authorize the refinancing, but delayed action until another special meeting set for this morning. Hospital officials said refinancing is intended to provide greater financial flexibility as interest rates have risen. Commissioners also discussed extending repayment from 20 years to 30 years, which could lower the annual debt payments despite higher borrowing costs. Interim Chief Financial Officer Dennis Spillman told commissioners the hospital has remained current on all principal and interest payments, but previously violated a bond covenant. He said OMC has been working with Key Bank, which has supported the refinancing effort. More news after this.
We are paying 14% of our income in taxes, while the super rich are paying 4%. Backwards.
That's why we came together to win a millionaire's tax this year.
That means more money for schooling kids. It means parents pay less for diapers.
Small business gets a tax break.
It means the super rich have to pay their share.
Blue Collar, we have each other's backs. BlueCollarUnity.org.
Paid for by Firelands Workers Building Community Power.
Your community-minded friends at First Fed bring you the Community Corner, highlighting good things happening right here in our area.
The Clothes Closet in Port Angeles is accepting new or gently used men's and women's clothing and bedding. Located at the First United Methodist Church, the Clothes Closet offers clothing for anyone in need and happily accepts men's t-shirts, tennis shoes, socks, underwear, warm coats, and small-size jeans. Women's clothing and bedding are also needed. No suits or dress shoes, please. Donations are accepted Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays or by appointment. The Clothes Closet is located at First United Methodist Church, 7th and Laurel in Port Angeles. And a big thank you from Habitat Clallam. With your help, they've built over 35 houses and counting. Visit Habitat for Humanity stores in Port Angeles and Sequim, or go to their new online store, shophabitatclallamonline.org.
Community Corner, presented by First Fed.
In other news, Clallam County public health officials defended the county's harm reduction center yesterday while acknowledging they need better ways to show the public the program's working. During a presentation to the Port Angeles Business Association, officials described the downtown center, located in the alley behind the Port of Port Angeles Administration Building, as a hub for overdose prevention, disease prevention, and connections to housing, treatment, and other community services. Health and Human Services Director Kevin Lopiccolo said the county doesn't view harm reduction programs, including syringe exchange, as treatment, but as a way to help build trust with people who may eventually seek better help.
I'm not here to sell that what we do brings people to treatment, but it's a hub that allows that opportunity for people to receive treatment.
Now, much of the discussion focused on business owners' questions about how the county measures the program's success. HHS Public Health Nurse Manager Chelsea Krause said participant anonymity makes it impossible to track individual outcomes, but the county has started collecting more detailed referral information, trying to better demonstrate results.
Starting this year, we're going into specificity. So now it'll be like we did a warm handoff for a phone. We did a warm handoff for connection to treatment. So our hope is to be able to connect the dots a little bit more comprehensively for the community in that way. But ultimately, we do have to honor the anonymity of our program. So we're never going to be able to collect names or dates of birth.
Business leaders also questioned the program's impact on crime and downtown safety. LaPiccolo acknowledged the link between drugs and crime, but said he doesn't believe the Harm Reduction Center is the actual cause. Instead, he argued the program is one part of a broader response to substance use disorder and questioned whether closing it would actually solve the community's underlying problems. A bipartisan group of 44 Washington lawmakers is urging Governor Bob Ferguson and the Department of Social and Health Services to preserve the Parent-to-Parent program, which supports families of children with autism and other developmental disabilities. In a letter sent Monday, lawmakers acknowledged the state's budget challenges, but called the $900,000 a year program a worthwhile investment. Parent-to-Parent matches families with experienced parents to help them navigate services and build support networks. The program serves all 39 counties and receives tens of thousands of requests for assistance each year. The program's future is uncertain beyond August as DSHS reviews potential budget cuts. The ARC of Washington State, which oversees parent-to-parent under a state contract, says eliminating the program could leave vulnerable families without any critical support. State officials say no final funding decisions have been made yet. And low-income drivers in Washington will soon be able to get a 50% discount on tolls along parts of State Route 509 and State Route 167 in the Puget Sound region, and perhaps expanding to other tollways. The State Transportation Commission approved the program last week. Enrollment begins this fall, with discounts taking effect in December. Eligible drivers must have household incomes at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, and you have to use a good-to-go pass. The discount applies only to two-axle vehicles and does not cover pay-by-mail tolls. Officials say the program is the state's first income-based toll discount and could eventually expand to other toll facilities, including the Highway 520 Bridge, Interstate 405, and the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. This is News Radio KONP.
Losing a loved one is overwhelming. Your mind and your heart shut down. That's where Drennan & Ford Funeral Home and Crematory comes in. They took the burden off my family's shoulders and guided us through everything we needed to do. No pushy sales tactics or unanswered questions. They just held our hands and took care of everything we asked. That's why I will always recommend Drennan & Ford for end-of-life decisions. They handle the hurt like no one else can. Call 360-457-1210.
July is the month we get to celebrate the birth of our country, and what a great country it is. We live in a great time for consumers and cars. We have some of the best brands ever built with focus on safety, fuel economy, function, and fun. There's so many options with electric, hybrid, diesel, and gas. Add all that to the lower cost of ownership and peace of mind with the Wilder Advantage. Just come celebrate with us. Stop by or check us out 24/7 at wilderauto.com.
One of Port Angeles' favorite summer traditions is back. Jammin' in the Park is Saturday, August 29th, with free admission, live entertainment, family activities, and great local food. Every purchase helps fund Rotary scholarships for local students. Thanks to First Fed, Elwha River Casino, Pacific Office Equipment, and Angelus Electric for helping make this community celebration possible.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Mainly sunny skies this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 64. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies again tonight. Lows level off around 50. Daytime highs approaching 65 tomorrow. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 68 Friday with a slight chance of rain. Thunderstorms likely 62 on Saturday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 62 Sunday, 67 Monday, and 71 on Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, it's 59 degrees.
Baseball on Tuesday. The Marlins blanked the Phillies 1-0. Kyle Stowers took Aaron Nola deep in the first inning, and Sandy Alcantara took it from there, allowing just 4 hits over 7 innings for his 11th win of the season. 2 relievers set down the last 6 Philadelphia batters in order. Now that makes back-to-back wins for Miami after 12 straight losses, putting them back at 500 and back in the NL wildcard hunt. Tigers trampled the Orioles 14-0, pounding out 19 hits and scoring in every inning, while Troy Melton and Ty Madden allowed just 3 singles. Gleyber Torres went deep and drove in 5 runs. Eduardo Valencia had a pair of jacks and 4 RBI. Diamondbacks squandered a 6-0 lead, but came back to edge the Pirates 8-7 in 12 innings. James McCann's 4th hit of the night brought home the winning run. The Yankees nicked the White Sox 3-2. Garrett Cole threw 6 scoreless innings. Rangers dropped the Rays 4-1 in a matchup of AL division leaders. Nationals held off the Blue Jays 8-6. DC drew 6 walks in the first inning off Shane Bieber, plating 4 runs. Luis Garcia Jr. and Dylan Cruz tacked on back-to-back jacks in the 4th inning. Twins got a 2-run, 2-out triple in the bottom of the 9th from Royce Lewis to knock off the Royals 3-2. But bad news for Minnesota. Byron Buxton had to leave the game in the 5th inning with right hip soreness. And the Guardians and the Reds split a doubleheader. Cleveland won the day game 6-5. Kyle Manzardo hit a grand slam in the 1st inning, but it took a sacrifice bunt to score Chase DeLauder in the 8th to snap the Guardians' 5-game losing streak. Cincinnati bounced back in the nightcap 2-0. 5 pitchers combining on a 3-hitter. J.J. Bleday homered. Cleveland's Gavin Williams struck out a dozen, but also allowed an insurance run with a wild pitch. The Mets and the Braves were postponed. They'll make it up today as another day-night double dip. The Major League Baseball trade deadline is next Monday. NFL training camp news, the Browns and 5-time Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward have agreed on a new 2-year extension that will, once again, make the 8-year veteran the highest-paid defensive back in the NFL. And the Eagles and Jalen Carter are close to a 4-year extension for the 2-time Pro Bowl selection, which would be the richest contract ever for a defensive tackle, both in guaranteed money and average annual value. The NFL preseason begins next Thursday with the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio, between the Cardinals and the Panthers. That's Wednesday Sports.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. If it's showing signs of age, leaks, or storm damage, upgrade now with Tri-State Roofing. Use special promo code KONP50 and receive 50% off new gutters with your new roof, or 50% off a new skylight with your roof replacement. It's the perfect opportunity to improve your home's protection, beauty, and value while saving big. At Tri-State Roofing, we install quality roofing systems backed by expert craftsmanship and outstanding customer service. Our flexible financing options means the roof you need has never been more affordable. Call the local team your neighbors trust. 360-208-2222. That's 360-208-2222. Mention promo code KONP50 to receive 50% off gutters with your new roof, or 50% off a skylight with your roof replacement. Tri-State Roofing. Quality you can trust. Protection that lasts.
Tri-State Roofing. We got you covered.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, Carrie Chance, Executive Director of the Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts, joins us with a preview of the upcoming Rebirth of Arts in Action in downtown Port Angeles. Then Amanda Bacon returns with another edition of Bacon Bits.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy Farmers Insurance.
If you love... If you love... If you love... Then you'll love Z104.9. Z104.9. Classic gold hits for the Olympic Peninsula.
News Radio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Federal Reserve officials left interest rates unchanged. The vote marks the 5th straight time officials have opted to leave rates unchanged. At a news conference following the statement, and in contrast to the Fed's lack of action, Chairman Kevin Warr strongly emphasized his commitment to tackling inflation, saying there is no soft inflation target. FIFA lodged disciplinary charges against 2 Argentina players for striking Spain opponents moments after the World Cup final and charged Argentina's Soccer Federation for players showing a political banner about the Falkland Islands after beating England in the semifinals. A list of disciplinary cases opened by FIFA against Argentina also include discriminatory chants and gestures by fans. And Live Golf is reportedly on the verge of canceling its team championship due to financial issues after Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund cut its funding. The Wall Street Journal says Live could scale back operations or shut down entirely in 2027. Matt Piper, Bloomberg Radio.
They say money can't buy happiness, but have you ever walked across brand new floors in your socks? McCrory Carpet One's huge summer clearance sale is proof that happiness is surprisingly affordable. Prices start at just $1 a square foot with 50,000 square feet of in-stock flooring ready for installation. Carpet, luxury vinyl, hardwood, if it's on the floor, it's priced to leave the store. Prices so low, they'll knock your socks off. Thank goodness you now have nice floors from McCrory Carpet One.
LS Tractor. Do more for less. More standard features, more capacity, and more operator comfort. LS Tractor gives you more. A comprehensive warranty and more PTO horsepower. Do more on your farm, ranch, or acreage. Mow it, grade it, till it, or move it. Stop by your local participating dealer and join the growing LS Tractor family today.
Find the perfect LS tractor for you at Leitz Farm Supply in Squim. Locally owned and operated. Call Leitz at 360-452-1400.
LS Tractor. Simply more.
KONP News Time's now 12:52. Only twice since Clara Barton founded the organization in 1881 has the American Red Cross been forced to declare a blood supply crisis. ABC's Jim Ryan says the nonprofit has issued an urgent appeal for donations now.
Not donations of cash, but donations of blood, especially O negative, the universal donor type. The Red Cross says it has less than a one-day supply of type O.
When the margins get that narrow, you might see elective surgeries postponed to make sure that the critical need for blood is there for the patients that need it.
Don Dowling of the Red Cross, the agency says this summer's extreme heat, air quality issues, and foodborne illness outbreaks have cut into the pool of potential blood donors. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Well, a survey of recent college grads found 81% wish they were taught more life skills before graduating. The top things pollsters feel left in the dark on included how to invest, long-term financial planning, and the best ways to manage their student loan debt. A further 3 in 10 regret not learning how to budget at all. Nearly 1 in 5 college grads polled say they still don't know how to cook or do their own laundry. 26% also feel lost when it comes to basic apartment maintenance as well, things like unclogging a toilet or resetting a Wi-Fi router. In today's Medical Minute, pregnancy and depression meds.
When you're pregnant, it's only natural to think about how any action you take might affect your baby. And if you're someone who lives with depression, you may hesitate to take your meds out of fear of causing harm. Fortunately, a new study shows that taking depression medicine during pregnancy is not linked to a higher risk of autism or ADHD in children. It means that moms-to-be who have been on those medicines can stay on them, and women who struggle with their
ABC Entertainment News.
He's choosing Texas, I can tell.
Another record for Ella Langley and her hit Choosin' Texas. The song hit 15 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, the most for a non-holiday song by a solo female artist. Selena Gomez and her husband Benny Blanco are teasing a new song release for this Friday. It's in Spanish and features Latin star Becky G. The song is Te Olvido, which means I'm forgetting you. Ariana Grande has filed a lawsuit against a group of anonymous hackers. The singer says the hackers were able to steal unreleased music from accounts and devices belonging to her producers.
Designers, there is bad news and there is good news.
And happy birthday to Tim Gunn, who turns 73 today. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Kim Commando's Consumer Tech Minute is next. Don't forget that Kim's full show about all things consumer tech comes your way Saturday mornings, 9 to noon here on KONP.
Micro, America's top advocate for skilled trades, says that not everyone needs college for a high-paying, satisfying career. I completely agree. The only ones who seem to disagree are the colleges and universities. I'm Kim Commando for Improve Life Joint Support. My new stimulant-free U.S.-made supplement relieves joint discomfort. Get up to 25% off plus free shipping at improvelife.com/Kim. Okay, America badly needs carpenters, electricians, high-voltage linemen, and a host of others, too many to mention, and none require college degrees. It turns out that young people are listening, and many liberal arts schools are not only in financial trouble, they're fighting back. At Arizona State University, my alma mater, you take classes in social media content creation. Oh, brother. I won't say this is a big waste of time and money, but you don't go to college to learn something millions of teens do every single day for free. And get more tech news like this every single morning by getting my free newsletter at getkim.com. You want to get outside, take the hike, keep up with the people you love, move through your day without thinking twice about it. But if your joints are not cooperating, none of that comes easy. Here's the truth. Joint discomfort is not just one problem. It's cartilage wearing down, inflammation building up. Your joints are losing the cushion they need to move freely. Most supplements pick one of those and call it a day. I wanted something better. My son and I worked with a team of experts to create Improve Life Joint Support, and I'm so proud of what we built. 5 clinically studied ingredients that work together on cartilage, inflammation, and joint hydration all at once. No stimulants, no fluff. Made right here in the USA. I take it every day. Now's the time for you to start. Go to improvelife.com/Kim and get up to 25% off plus free shipping. That's improvelife.com/Kim. Keep moving.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
I'm John Tesh, and coming up, whether you're gearing for a promotion or trying to get a date, I'll share a way to be perceived as more likable in just 3 seconds. It's next in today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, get any size mattress for one low price, starting at $249.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
You know us, we love sharing tips to help make you more likable, especially when you're meeting others for the first time. So here's the simplest strategy we've ever heard. Whenever somebody asks you a question, just pause 3 seconds before you answer. That's it. It works because whenever you pause before answering somebody's question, it sends the message that you take them seriously, and you want to really think about how you're going to respond. Plus, as long as you make it clear that you actually heard and understand the question, people will think you're a good listener, which is another key quality in being more likable. Also, by pausing before you speak, you're significantly less likely to trip over your words, which makes you appear more competent. Bottom line, to instantly be more likable when somebody asks you a question, just pause 3 seconds before replying. I'm John Tesh with today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
As each season changes, one thing stays the same. Airport Garden Center is always here to help your yard and garden grow. Airport Garden Center opened for business in 1977 as a pet, plant, and feed store by Eldora and Floyd Matthews. The family-run operation continues with Mark and Betsy Matthews passionately managing the business to this day. Their family provides your family quality service, products, and expert advice for a fun, rewarding, pet and child-friendly shopping atmosphere. We love helping you plan next season by offering monthly special savings too. Go to airportgarden.biz for current specials and seasonal classes and events, or just stop on by our spacious indoor-outdoor garden center on Edgewood Drive in Port Angeles to chat with the experts. Airport Garden Center, planting knowledge, growing gardeners since 1977.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Your voice, your news. News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim. AM 1450, FM 101.7 and 101.3. A Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen.
At the White House, President Trump weighing in on renewed strikes by Iran, saying he's been updated on the latest attack in Egypt. Ambry, the maritime security firm, sharing a notification with ABC News about an explosion, stating it was a drone strike that caused the initial fire at a U.S.-owned and operated national gas floating storage facility at the port of Damietta.
I've been briefed. It's a little more of the same, but it's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it.
The president vowing to hit Iranian targets also for Iranian strikes on U.S. facilities in Jordan. Uncertainty in the Middle East impacting oil and gas prices. The Federal Reserve Board, after its policy meeting, voting to keep interest rates unchanged, saying the board is weighing factors. Here's new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh.
The economy is showing impressive resilience. Even with recent shocks, the trends are positive and reveal solid growth.
3 members of the board voting in favor to raise interest rates. Medicare recipients may be in for some sticker shock when they start shopping for next year's plan. A key part of Medicare, Part D prescription drug section of the program, is about to lose a major source of funding.
Dr. Mehmet Oz heads Medicare and Medicaid services for President Trump and said in a social media post yesterday that federal subsidies to the Medicare Part D plan are going away at the end of the year because he says the insurers no longer need them. He said most Medicare recipients will see drug premiums rise by less than $10 a month next year, and that some will see their rates actually drop. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
KFF, a health policy nonprofit, says ending the subsidies may increase premiums for some by as much as $20 a month. You're listening to ABC News.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
On Capitol Hill today, Dr. Anthony Fauci invoking the Fifth Amendment at a Senate hearing. Fauci has become a flashpoint in the debate over the federal government's COVID pandemic response.
Fauci cited what he described as Senator Rand Paul's obsession with calling for his prosecution, saying he believed he was subpoenaed to testify so he could potentially be prosecuted for perjury.
Under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions.
While President Biden preemptively pardoned Fauci on his last day in office, that clemency wouldn't protect Fauci if he was accused of lying to Congress. He's denied wrongdoing and claims he's being vindictively targeted for his role in the pandemic response. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
The American Red Cross with an urgent appeal for blood donations.
We need people to step up. Matt Trotter is with the American Red Cross, which has declared a national blood supply emergency.
If 3 more people came to every Red Cross blood drive over the next month, we would be out of this crisis.
The nonprofit has been hit from both sides of a seasonal increase in demand for blood products and a precipitous decline in donors. A New York State school district that had planned to use a robot powered by artificial intelligence in the classroom is now putting that idea on hold. Parents and teachers citing concerns about how students' personal information would be used. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Hi everyone, it's Alicia Campion with Ridgeline Home Care Cooperative. We're a worker-owned cooperative. Our caregivers are owners, focused on dignity, trust, and supporting loved ones at home. Accepting care is about independence, not weakness. We care and support the life someone has already built. Join our team or trust us with your loved one's care. We're Ridgeline Home Care Cooperative, with you at home. Call 360-504-3837.
This is James Garlick, Co-Artistic Director of Music on the Straight, inviting you and your family to 2 exciting programs at Field Arts and Events Hall on August 22nd and 30th, featuring MacArthur genius and pianist Jeremy Denk, Grammy-winning Takac String Quartet, Pulitzer Prize-winning composer-in-residence Gabrielle Alina Frank, and more. Come early for food, drink, and student performances in the Sunset Lounge.
Get your tickets now for breathtaking performances you won't want to miss. Go to musiconthestraight.org.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding results, 457-6600. Port Angeles man facing multiple felony charges after police say he kicked in the doors of 2 apartments early Saturday and ransacked them. Officers arrested 20-year-old Joshua Royal inside one of those apartments. Police say he appeared intoxicated. Investigators found no connection between Royal and the victims. Konp County Sheriff's Office believes a series of recent coffee stand burglaries around Port Angeles may be connected. Detectives have arrested 49-year-old Joshua Murka in connection with one break-in, that one at the Coffee Cottage. They're investigating whether up to 3 other coffee stands were targeted over this past weekend.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 64. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 49 tonight, mainly clear skies. Daytime highs approaching 65 tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Mainly sunny skies Friday, with daytime highs approaching 69. 62 thunderstorms likely Saturday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 62 Sunday, 67 Monday, and 71 on Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 63.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
All right, welcome once again to the program. You've probably been hearing us talk a little bit on the air about that and see a lot of stuff on social media and things. But yes, it's true. Arts in Action is coming back to Port Angeles, and it's coming back this weekend. And we have Carrie Chance here. She's the executive director of the Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts, and JFFA is actually the group that is reinvigorating, rebirthing Arts in Action downtown after it's been away for, I don't know how long?
Since 2014.
2014. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's 12 years or so
Yeah.
of not having anything. So, anyway, Carrie's here to talk a bit about what is to be expected. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you, too, always.
I heard about this a while ago that you were planning on this thing, and I thought, well, that's curious. So, I'm going to ask that first off, the kind of why. What made JFFA and your folks say, you know, we ought to try this again?
Sure, yeah. So a couple things. One, this event started in 1965 by a group of local artists and eventually was taken over and produced by the Rotary Club, as you know. Mm-hmm. And in 2014, that was their last year. It was their 49th year. And I think it just got to be a lot of work for an all-volunteer group. Yeah. And so they decided to kind of put it to rest, but with the hopes that it would be reinvigorated someday. And so we went to them, or maybe they came to us. I don't remember. It was probably 5 years ago now, and said, hey, let's talk Arts in Action. And so basically they gifted us the rights to this name and to this legacy. And we've been waiting for the right time to bring it back. And if I'm being really honest, the reason that we decided this year is the year we have to do it is it's feeling very digital these days. People are spending a lot of time on the screens. They're spending a lot of time maybe not so kind to each other on screens and in social media. And when we see people together in real life, they are incredibly kind and lovely and wonderful, and we see amazing things happen. And so we just thought, this is the year, we've got to do this. We're feeling like we want to get people together. We want joy and invigoration and excitement. And so here it is. We're a couple days away from this big event.
So you got a little community touch grass event is 100%. What you're hoping this is going to be, 100%. Which I totally agree. I get that. You go to the festival, for example. Right. It's a whole different world. And these are some of the same people, and I kind of know them. And I think, if you're not out here talking to me face to face, you'd probably be different.
Right. And Concerts on the Pier is kind of where that was one of the things that we really saw it come to life. And, we know that right now, not everybody can afford to buy a ticket to something. Yeah. It's why at the festival, we really have gone to a really elaborate outdoor event so that you can come and have a full festival experience without having to buy a ticket, right? You're not going to see those main stage shows, but you're going to see really great shows outdoors. And that was kind of the first thing. And then concerts on the pier, we see, we had 1,000 people a week ago at concerts on the pier.
You'll do that again tonight, I think.
I think so, too.
Considering you have
Yes.
nasty habits in the beautiful weather.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
All, yeah.
But people are so lovely, and they love to be together. We love taking away that barrier of making it cost something. I just had somebody ask me, so how much are tickets to Arts in Action? I was like, oh, it's free. We put it on everything, but I know they think, well, it's free except for, no, literally it's free. Unless you're going to buy food, buy a drink, buy something. You can come to the kids' creative zone and do things for free. You can do a paint by number mural for free, listen to music for free, watch artists create for free. It really is an event that is supported by this community, by sponsors, by, our members, by local businesses, and by some grants and things. And we just want people to come out and have a great time and to bring tourists in and locals alike. And we're very excited.
I can tell. It's going back to the original footprint, too. You're
Yes,
closing down
yes,
Laurel Street.
yes.
The last few years of Arts in Action, which I was involved with the Rotary Club, we had to kind of move it over to City Pier for a couple of reasons. One, it was just getting too congested downtown.
Right.
And there was a lot of stories behind that. Plus, we had sandcastles and there, all of that. But I think we always missed it being in the downtown proper.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was born and raised here. And so, I told this story at our fundraiser when I asked members to, help support this event. But I have very vivid memories. We didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, and very vivid memories of going to Arts in Action every year. And my obsession was there was somebody who always came and had copper rings. And I think they were like $2.
I remember that.
And so I could save all of my allowance, all of my quarters, and I could go buy a copper ring for every finger. And it was my favorite thing. I would watch candle dipping, and I would watch, somebody creating jewelry and pottery and all these things. And I just have such vivid memories. And it was always on Laurel. And so for me, that was kind of that was our goal. And, we met with Nathan West and, the roads department probably a year and a half ago and said, this is our plan. This is what we'd like to do. Can we make it happen? And the city has been, they bend over backwards to help us to put on these events. They really want to support the things that are happening that are making this community better. And so they said, yes, how can we help you? How can we make it happen? Here's our plan. We'll help you, close off these streets and do all those things. And local business owners that own lots that are allowing us to use them. It's just been so fun to be a part of something that people are excited to be a part of.
All right, so let's dive into this.
Yes.
Describe what's going to happen on 2 blocks of Laurel Street, essentially, on Saturday and
so
Sunday.
Be warned, we are Laurel Street will be shut from, we tell everyone it's from the ferry to the fountain. So, of course, Railroad will be open, Front will be open, and First will be open, but Laurel between those areas will be closed, including alley access, everything. That will all be closed starting Friday morning, like 5 in the morning. And that's when our crew comes in and we're going to start setting up everything. We've got to set up the stages and the tents and all those things. That's when vendors are going to start loading in. So that all happens Friday. And because we're going to be kind of making a ruckus in downtown, we are kicking off the event with kickoff concert at the pier from 6 to 8 p.m. on Friday night. And that is Sound Advice, which is super fun. We're excited to have them come. They're a fun dancing rockin' band. So we'll have that.
Motown in 70s,
yes,
if you're into that
yes.
whole thing, and they're terrific.
Yes, absolutely. You'll be on your feet. And we'll have some food vendors down there similar to a normal concert on the pier. So that's Friday night. And then Saturday, we're going to load in the rest of our vendors. And then from 11 to 7, and then Sunday 11 to 5, we are going to have food vendors, artisan vendors. We have a group coming over from the farmers market. We're kind of making a little farmers market mini pod come over. They're coming. We've got Faro is coming over to talk about their new Marine Discovery Center. We've got the Port Angeles Arts Council coming. We've got all sorts of, treats and artisans. And then we have 3 designated, we call them artist outposts, where we have a live visual artist creating work on site. And those are all in a tented area. There are going to be seats if you want to sit and watch, or you can just walk by. And then, of course, we have our main stage, which, you will be rocking out on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we also have a designated busking station, which we're calling Street Sessions. That's closer to the ferry. So when people get off the ferry, they're going to have live music right there. And then we're also sending out some of those street sessions into the community. So into the farmers market, in front of like Kindred Collective on Sunday, we've got a duo there. So the idea is that, this is year one. And we think it's probably going to take about 5 years to be this big, robust festival that we want it to be. We're building as quickly as we can, but eventually we just want the entire town to just be filled with people and arts and culture, and for it to be this really invigorating weekend, both for businesses and for people.
Right. You got a beer garden too, right? Beer
We
and
do.
wine garden. You
We
missed that part.
Ooh, and the beer and wine garden. This is something really fun. We decided kind of early on that we wanted it to be it's only local. So we have 3 local breweries. We've got Social Fabric, we've got Mighty Pine, and we have Bar Hop Brewing. They're each going to have one permanent beer on tap, and then there will be a rotating tap. And then our friends at Harbinger, we've got red and white wine from them, and then their blackberry cider, which is to die for. And that will be the extent of our alcohol. And then our title sponsor is Peninsula Bottling, and so they're going to be providing us all of those soda and water products.
Yeah, you got a soda bar.
We do
as well. Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
And I'm looking at the map, which you can't see on the radio very well. But can you get this online?
Very close. We're doing some final edits,
Okay.
but yes. And then these will all be available at our Festival Central, where you can buy merch. There's a photo booth, and then get all the information. This will all be here.
The big issue has been, where are the sandcastles? We might as well address that.
Let's talk about it.
There won't be
Yes.
sandcastles
Yes,
this
there
year.
will not be sandcastles. No. We love the sandcastles. We did a lot of talking to Rotary before we took this event. And the sandcastles were a huge undertaking, and it cost so much money. And, it's to the point where it was going to be an event that lost money, and it was really focusing on one type of art. And we, are coming at this with a different perspective, and we just want to focus on lots of different art, genres and mediums. And we may have a sandcastle in the future. It will never be a full sandcastle festival again, but we're looking at bringing in some chalk art. We're looking at bringing in some wood carving, right? Like we thought we had a wood carver in, but turns out there is a canoe landing. And so our friends at Lower Ella were not able to send their carvers, but in the future, we're hoping to make that happen. So,
well, you got to get this back on the map
Exactly.
again. Is basically kind of what you're saying. Give us a little flavor of some of those artists that are going to be at the Outpost. So what type of art?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. We have some sculptors, doing plasticine or pottery. We have someone who's actually bringing a potting wheel, and she's going to throw pots on site.
Excellent.
Yeah. We have someone who's doing some really intricate paper cutting. I forget the term, so forgive me. We have the Hub actually is doing some groups of 3 where they're going to be doing some plein air things where people are all working together. And then they're going to be doing some different perspectives of things up close and then kind of pull back as they go. Those will both be at the fountain, but the fountain will be one spot. We'll have one spot in between First and Front and one in between Front and Railroad. We've got somebody who does sculpting with hot glue. It looks like glass sculpting. It is the most incredible thing. We couldn't believe it. We have spray paint artists. We have painters. We have, just a little bit of everything. Wire works. We've got somebody who does rock painting. If you can imagine it, we may not have it this year, but we're going to have it eventually.
I love it.
Yeah.
It really, truly is re-embraced the arts in action part of this, because originally this is what this was all about.
Yeah.
Go out, have artisans create in front of folks.
Right.
So they
and
can
those
see.
the stations we're talking about that we're scheduling, we think it's really important. We're an arts organization, and so we pay every single artist for what they're doing, right? So these are all going to be paid. You might see some buskers out. If they've got a sign that says Arts in Action in front of them, know that we're paying them a fair artist wage, but also donate to them, right?
Absolutely.
If they've got a tip jar out, please do that. Same thing for these working artists at these artist outposts. But then we've got our friends at the Stained Glass Shop. They're we're going to be running a class, and we've got somebody who's working on demos just in our shop. Right. So people are, expanding and doing these things, all over the place. We have, 100 and some volunteers. We've got it's going to be amazing. We're just very excited.
I don't know. You're talking about growing this thing. You're already. I think you're coming out pretty strong.
Well, I don't do things in small measure.
But it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You got music going on. You already mentioned that. So that's a big part of what is happening. Friday night, you got the kickoff concert.
Yes.
But, take us through what Saturday and Sunday look like.
Yeah. So Saturday.
And this is back over at the the City Pier.
So,
music then moves over to the festival area.
So City Pier is just Friday night, and that's just because we're going to be shutting down Laurel. So we wanted to have something close. But, we've got some local bands and we have some bands that are coming in from out of town. Navy Band Northwest, they were just here in March as part of the Olympic National Park Navy Day. And we were able to help them put on a free concert up at the high school. That was phenomenal. And I think I've seen them before, but I think in my head, I still expected them to be like all this patriotic music, which they do some, but they also were playing like Lady Gaga. And it was so much fun. They were dancing around.
And they do this with the horns, basically.
Yes.
They're a horn band.
Yes.
And they play some rock and roll stuff and things with it. It's kind of crazy.
It's very fun.
And they're fabulous musicians. We've seen them before,
and we've got, of course, your band, Black Diamond Zeppelin. So,
if you missed the Led Zeppelin thing at the Wanda Fuca Festival, or you didn't get a ticket to get in, this is a free show.
This
so
is
you
a
can come
free
see
show,
it for free. And it's going to be the same show with a little bit of extra to it. We got a couple of extra things.
But so fun. If you missed it, you definitely want to come this. And then, we've got some local bands again on Saturday. And then we're closing out with an Ozzy Osbourne tribute, a band called Blizzard. And one of the band members grew up, his grandparents were in Port Angeles. So he spent years and years and summers here. And so he remembers Arts in Action. He was very excited to come back. So we were happy to have him come rock out a little for us.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going to be the last band on Sunday. Is the Ozzy
and then
tribute.
Like I said, we've got buskers who are out. Going to be playing mostly acoustic, a couple with some amplification, but we want to invigorate.
Not that you'll not be able to hear the music, but it's going to be. Tell folks where the stage is.
Oh, yeah. So the stage is actually in the parking lot on the corner of Laurel and First Street. Right. It is right across from like Wander Fuca and Port Book and News. Wander Fuca, I will say, if you are volunteering or feel like volunteering, that's where our volunteer hub. They've donated that space to us to kind of be the check-in for volunteers. But you will be able to see it and hear it and all those things. But yes, all of our bright colors. If you've seen anything online, you've seen this gorgeous logo that Haley Sharp designed.
I was just going there because this is you've got it themed out. You've got it this is legit.
Well, when Haley and I sat down, I knew we needed to do something. We needed to brand this event. Yeah. And Haley's also from Port Angeles. And so she and I had talks about the things that we remembered and the nostalgia. And for us, our age range, it was really kind of the 80s. That was that was our first core memories of this event. And so when she was doing, logo design ideas, we looked at different color palettes and this kind of retro, chunky, bubbly. I mean, for both of us, immediately we're like, yes, this feels like Arts in Action that we remember.
And you'll have plenty of merch if people want to buy it.
We do.
With the thing. You're sporting a hoodie now with the lovely logo on it.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
we've got some hoodies and some shirts. And it's going to be fantastic.
How much fun. That's just terrific.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, you really are fitting in with your theme at JFFA of being an arts organization.
Right. I mean, people, say to me, they're like, oh, it must be so fun you get to book bands. I'm like, well, I mean, yes, I do that, right? But it's, it's really the thing that I love is my job is to bring people together. And I do that using art as the, as the bait to get people together. But, that's something I'm passionate about, live music and artists. And, my dad was an art teacher at the high school for his entire career. And, but it's just about people. I love people and I love this community. When my husband and I were both from here, we moved back. We wanted to dig deep and be a part of this community and to make it the community that we grew up and loved. And so, I feel like we're one piece at a time doing that.
Thanks for bringing back Arts in Action.
Oh, heck yeah.
This is great. And it'll be fun to watch it grow as well. So
Yeah,
not just this
absolutely.
weekend. So folks, get down there. It's free. No excuse not to
Yeah.
go, right?
Yeah.
You can get in. You can take in all sorts of artists in action. Lots of music. They've got food for sale.
Yeah.
A beer and wine garden. I mean, it's just going to be a fun time.
And we're updating our website continually as we're getting more information in. So we've got now clickable links to every band that's playing, and we're working by the end of today should have a clickable link for every artist that's going to be creating art on site. So if you want to know more about who you want to come see or watch, you can find that all on our website.
All right, jffa.org.
Yes.
And
there's a link for Arts in Action, and you can go right there. Yes.
All right. Carrie, we'll see you this weekend.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks,
All right,
Todd.
Carrie Chance is the executive director at the Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts, and Arts in Action is back this weekend in downtown Port Angeles. We're going to take a break. Be back with more in just a moment.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
Hi, it's Dan Shappy with Farmers Insurance. Ever call somewhere and get stuck in a phone maze so long you start questioning your life choices?
Press 1 to speak to a robot. Press 2 to be routed to the number 4 button. Press 3 to be disconnected inexplicably.
Yeah, we don't do that. We're right here in Port Angeles at 405 South Peabody Street. You need help? Just stop in. We'll look up, smile, and actually talk with you. Farmers Insurance, here when you need us.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
And now a word from our friends at the Eagles Club in Port Angeles. They welcome new members every day. Be part of the club with some fantastic membership perks right now, like discounted cover charges for events, live music, discounted facility rental, a whole lot more. The friendly faces behind the bar will greet you with foods and snack options every day, and you'll always feel like you're right at home when you step inside the Eagles Club. They offer something for everyone. Poker on Tuesdays with a $20 buy-in. Just bring a member to sign you in. And stop by on Wednesday and experience the Imperfectionist Music Jam session. That's free with an Eagles member to sign you in as well. On Thursdays, pop on by for Barstool Bingo at 6 p.m. The sales start at 5:30. And Friday, the members-only Queen of Hearts raffle is up to a jackpot of over $30,000. And every Saturday evening, you'll hear some live music from very talented local musicians. Sundays, they serve breakfast to the public from 9:30 till noon. Find out more by becoming an Eagles member today. Stop on by or call 360-452-3344.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. If it's showing signs of age, leaks, or storm damage, upgrade now with Tri-State Roofing. Use special promo code KONP50 and receive 50% off new gutters with your new roof, or 50% off a new skylight with your roof replacement. It's the perfect opportunity to improve your home's protection, beauty, and value while saving big. At Tri-State Roofing, we install quality roofing systems backed by expert craftsmanship and outstanding customer service. Our flexible financing options means the roof you need has never been more affordable. Call the local team your neighbors trust. 360-208-2222. That's 360-208-2222. Mention promo code KONP50 to receive 50% off gutters with your new roof, or 50% off a skylight with your roof replacement. Tri-State Roofing. Quality you can trust. Protection that lasts.
State Roofing, we got you covered.
Welcome to Volunteer Spotlight, sponsored this time by Brown's Outdoor. This is Alan Barnard, and this Volunteer Spotlight shines on all who take the time and effort to clean up Port Angeles and surrounding areas. The many volunteer groups and individuals who continually clean up and pick up all manner of trash and debris discarded throughout the city play a valuable and irreplaceable part in maintaining our quality of life. There are organized groups dedicated to cleaning up streets, creeks, valleys, and beaches, plus individuals walking along their chosen areas with buckets and trash grabbers taking the initiative to do what they can to pick up trash along our roads. Too many to call out individually. We are highlighting all who work hard to clean up our area and offer a huge thank you for your selfless efforts. This volunteer spotlight is brought to you by Brown's Outdoor, serving your family for over 100 years.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Renewed hostilities between the U.S. and Iran creating more economic uncertainty. The Federal Reserve Board wrapping up its two-day policy meeting and leaving interest rates unchanged for now. New Fed Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh says the U.S. economy is showing resilience, but they're also watching many factors.
The policy statement conveys just the facts. It's steering clear of forecasting, a choice we consider especially prudent at these uncertain times. Uncertainty, however, does not mean a lack of clarity.
Tense moments on Capitol Hill today. Dr. Anthony Fauci appearing before a Senate hearing on the COVID response. He invoked his Fifth Amendment rights and declined to answer questions. Fauci headed the White House coronavirus task force for both the Trump and Biden administrations. He received a preemptive pardon from Biden. The winning ticket in last night's Mega Millions drawing was sold at a Wawa in Bradenton, Florida. The jackpot, $800 million. This is ABC News.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 64. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 49 tonight, mainly clear skies. Daytime highs approaching 65 tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Mainly sunny skies Friday, with daytime highs approaching 69. 62 thunderstorms likely Saturday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 62 Sunday, 67 Monday, and 71 on Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 63.
It's Wednesday, and it's our usual Bacon Bit segment. That's when our own Amanda Bacon sits down with some famous folks. Some of the most iconic celebrity photographs of the past 40 years have come through the lens of Timothy White. He's photographed everyone from Brad Pitt and Harrison Ford to Dolly Parton, Aretha Franklin, and even Michael Jackson. Now he's sharing the stories behind those unforgettable images and their very personal journey behind the camera in a new memoir called Life Through My Lens. Amanda recently sat down with Timothy for her latest Bacon Bits podcast, and we'll share part of that conversation with you now.
Oh, I hope we giggle a lot.
It's so much. Oh, don't worry, I will. And I hope you do too. Mr. Timothy White, my goodness, what a career, what a life. Wow. How are you this morning?
I'm great, Amanda. Same with you. You've had quite the career.
well, you're very sweet. Sir,
you're going to get me giggling. I can hear it.
Yes, good. I'm good. I want this to be a fun, relaxed, happy conversation. Yeah. And I want to know what got you started down the path of photography that then projected you into celebrity, like with all the stars.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, at high school, that kind of thing, there was, the youth culture was such a big new thing in the late 60s, early 70s. And I just saw that was the lifestyle I wanted to be a part of. I didn't see myself becoming a lawyer or a doctor or a businessman. I don't think I was smart enough for many other things, but I, it was something that I saw myself being and wanting to be a part of. So it was really more that. Music was a big part of life for me, and then I also felt myself to be a storyteller of some sort, and the camera allowed me to do that.
Did you start telling those stories in high school with like your journal, like with the annual that came out, the school directory, basically?
No, I wasn't that involved in.
No,
I was more of a partier in high school, but no, I didn't take pictures. I didn't do any of that stuff. No. But I was always very social, and I was always very capable of communicating with people, and I think that's my stock and trade, and I think that's how. Once I got into photography, it became a way of connecting with people and getting them to react to me, and that worked.
Do you remember your first professional photo shoot?
Well, professional, has different levels. The first big celebrity was a Paul McCartney shoot that I did.
Oh my good God.
Yeah, that was that was challenging.
Mm-hmm.
As a young,
that was your first. Oh, okay.
There were others, and of course, I was trying to build my career and taking photographs and having opportunities with certain people who may have been more, if you will, minor celebrities. But that was a big one.
Mm. Was there some lead up to that? I mean, did you find yourself in a basement taking pictures of burgers for fast food chains? I mean, like, was there some sort of storytelling that led to Paul McCartney? Or did you just wake up one day and you're like, I think I'm going to go photograph one of the most famous humans in the world?
Yes, there was a lot of years shooting burgers in a basement, metaphorically. No, I was trying to build my career. I was photographing musicians and photographing people off the street that were interesting friends, trying to find myself, and every time I shot something interesting, I'd put it together and put a portfolio together, trying to create sort of my style, my vision, and then go out to magazines and different advertisers and try and get jobs. And, one thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden something clicks, no pun intended. And all of a sudden you get a decent assignment. And this was early on. I'd met some people. It's all about relationships. And someone asked me if I wanted to come to London and shoot Paul McCartney. I said, yeah, okay.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. No, and that was really, a major moment in my life. And then one thing led to another from there.
Oh, have you ever been starstruck? And I mean that in the best possible way. Like, you meet someone and maybe you don't go into it thinking this is like the biggest celebrity or blah, 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 but you get to know them and you actually start to have like this connection of, I really admire this person and I want this photo to go so, so, so good.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I wouldn't say I'm starstruck by any means. I probably couldn't do what I do. I have butterflies though all the time when I'm shooting someone. But when you come in front of the likes of, I don't know, the Dalai Lama,
it's funny. I was going to say Dolly Parton, but still, our minds are very similar.
Let's just do dollies then, okay? There's the Dalai Lama, there's Dolly Parton, but there's got to be another dolly in here that I photographed. I'd have to check.
Wasn't there Dolly the sheep? Did you get to meet Dolly the sheep?
No, but I shot Molly the pig. Anyway, no, there's got to be other dollies. Let me think for a minute. That was Daryl Hannah. Daryl Hannah has a pet pig named Molly.
Oh, that's precious.
Yeah, it's huge. So it was like this 400-pound pig.
Oh, so it's a big Precious.
Yes. Precious actually would have been a better name for it than Molly. But...
Well, nobody asked me, and that's very tragic. So as you're, sitting down and recounting your life and writing this incredible memoir, Life Through My Lens, how many times did you have to stop and reassure yourself that A, this really happened, and B, that it's okay to tell some of the personal sides of you?
This took me almost 6 years to write, so there was a lot of up and down and back and forth.
Wow.
I would say the day that it went to the publisher to print was the day I kind of gulped and went, "Oh, there we go. It's too late now." But yeah, all along that way, there's been a lot of second guessing, but it was also something that I just needed to do. I just felt that I had a story to tell, that there was a lot more that goes on in my life than just photographing celebrities, and sort of what it took to put one foot in front of the other and to have resilience and to deal with the ups and downs of life and still show up the next day and go to work. And I think that's something everybody can relate to.
Where do you start when you are writing something like this?
It's really interesting because it was during COVID, and we were all
so all the time in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Alone, and spending a lot of time alone, and I started just having fun, and I started writing little poems. little silly things like Dr. Seuss like kind of rhymes and stuff. And
Really?
yeah, and it was like really easy, and I actually had fun with it. I started one. I had like an ant infestation in my house, and it was just driving me nuts, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of them. And I called, I bought every anti-ant chemical on Amazon, and I actually finally, even though we were all wearing masks, I finally called an exterminator to come over. We just couldn't figure out where they were coming from, and so I wrote this poem, and it started with, "My aunts have aunts and uncles, and I don't know what to do," and it was like it was just this long, funny rhyme about all these ants. They're in my plants, they're in my pants, that kind of thing. They were everywhere. Anyway, we finally found them. It was an easy fix, actually. It was just a tree branch that was leading into my house, but that's a whole nother story. But the point is, it was fun, and I enjoyed the process, and I was like, wow, this could be a great thing when I'm not out photographing people, because that's not what we were doing during COVID, interacting like that. And so,
right.
I found another outlet for my creativity, and then that led to writing and telling some stories about my career, and then really feeling my parents were aging and other things that happened in my life that I felt I needed to write about and talk about and kind of reconcile alongside all the wonderful things in my life.
Is this something you knew you liked to do? I mean, you tell stories through photos, but have you ever really told stories pen to paper?
No, this is the first time. But putting it in black and white and putting it down on paper allowed me to really acknowledge something about myself, and that was this wonderful exploration. And in doing so, I've learned a lot from it. And if I can have someone else read this and maybe also learn from something or see some parallels in their own life, that would be really wonderful.
Was there a story that you decided to tell that was really hard, but also kind of cathartic to write down?
My dad was a really big influence in my life. And
me too.
Yeah, and if we talk for another minute about this, I can definitely get emotional. So throughout the book, throughout the editing and the revisions of the book, every time I bring up some of that, I get emotional. Again, big influence in my life, helped to make me the man that I am today. And in fact, there's a companion book that goes along with my memoir that's coming out in a couple of months. And that companion book has my dad on the cover.
Oh, that's incredible.
Amanda, we're not giggling anymore.
No, but we will.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I lost my dad in 2020 very unexpectedly, and he was like, I always tell people, if you've met me, you've met my father. And so I always appreciate those moments where I get to connect with someone who also has that kind of relationship with their father that was just so incredibly special. And, a lot of therapy has taught me it's okay to be still sad about those moments, but also to then find the joy. I told Mom as soon as Dad died, how lucky are we that it hurts this bad, because we loved so fiercely.
Yep, absolutely. You just said something so beautiful, which is, if you know me, you know my father. And I can only wish that someone would say that to me.
They will. They absolutely will. I have no doubt about it. I've only gotten to talk to you for a few minutes, and I can already tell that you are the kind of person that I would love to sit on the couch with and sip on a cup of coffee and just talk about life.
What are you doing next weekend, Amanda?
Come on over. I'll make you a really good cup of coffee.
I'd love that. I don't drink coffee, but,
We'll find something. I got plenty of things around the house that we... So let me ask you, as a deeper human being and being known for photography, do you feel like people actually know you and that you have allowed people to know you? Or do you think that they know the superficial professional side of you?
A good question. I think that the reason I did this book was to, look, I've pointed my lens at some of the shiniest objects in entertainment and brilliant, creative people. And now I've turned around and pointed the lens at myself, and I felt that that's what I needed to do. I felt that that was my complete story in some way, and so I'm really. It's been. I'm not sure I like the word cathartic, but it's definitely been a real learning experience, a real acknowledgement of a sense of myself.
So, do you feel like you have discovered who you are even more in this process?
I mean, that makes it sound like it's finite. Discovered. I'm discovering.
No, but I mean, like you've. I mean, obviously, you just discovered that you actually can also tell stories with pen and paper and not just photojournalism. But have you discovered this new part of you that you didn't really know you had?
You know what I'm digging about this interview, Amanda, is that you're actually bringing out some of the emotion that it took for me to write. No, I mean this sincerely, to write this book, and something that I feel every single day. And so I don't know if I answered that question actually, but it's been a very wonderful experience, and also, studying the ups and downs of your life and how they've affected you. And, I think about, while I'm going through my parents' exponential aging that happened from 90 to 100, and watching the needs and the care, and seeing some of the betrayals and some of the other losses and things in my life, yet I was still able to get up and go work with, Brad Pitt or whoever, and do some of the big assignments that I had to do to create a movie poster or an advertising campaign. That was interesting to me, to sort of study myself and where I was at and how I did that, how I got up every day, the resilience, how I put one foot in front of the other and did what I had to do. So it's not about a woe is me. If anything, it's all of our lives are made up of all the experiences we have.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, what about the rest of your family? I mean, have they commented to you on this and said, I didn't know that this was a thing that happened, or I didn't know you felt this way, or I didn't even know that you did this big thing?
My sister called me last week and said, I didn't know you did so many drugs in your life. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think a lot of people have read it yet. It came out yesterday. Obviously, there were some advanced copies that I passed around, but I don't think everybody's gotten through it yet, but I'm sure I'll hear. I think everybody's got their own story, and this is mine. So even, relative to my siblings or something, whatever their version is going to be a little bit different than mine. But I think they'll definitely learn a bit more about their brother or their cousin or whatever by reading it.
Where are you at in the sibling lineup? Like oldest, middle, youngest?
Baby. I'm the baby.
You're yeah, you're going to get some calls.
Oh, yeah. My lawyer said, you really want to talk this way about your mom? I said, well, she's passed, so I don't think we have a problem.
We'll be fine. Oh, man. So I have to ask you before, we run out of time, is there a movie poster that you are the most proud of that you did?
That's a really good one. I have to tell you the biggest one, because I see it everywhere, and that's Home Alone. That's Macaulay Culkin with his hands on either side of his face. Yeah, because it's like evergreen. Every year it comes out, and there it is on billboards or whatever. It's so funny, right? That little kid. I had so much fun with that kid, too. And then I did Home Alone 2 as well. Do we have a minute for a quick story?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So Home Alone 2, I don't know if you remember the movie, but he's in Central Park with this woman, like this pigeon lady or whatever. So that was, they give me inspiration. I read the script, and I was like, okay, we got to get a pigeon in the shoot. So I'm shooting him in the studio, and we're shooting it like January 6th or something. So it was right after the holiday. And they said to me, well, let's go out and, produce the shoot, get what you need to do. So I called up all these places, these prop houses, but they were all closed for the holidays, and I couldn't find a pigeon. So finally I found this guy who goes, yeah, I can get you a pigeon, no problem. Great. Okay, here's the shoot day. Guy shows up. This pigeon was like perfect. It was the most perfect taxidermy pigeon I could ever find. And I got it on his head and on his shoulder and like all this stuff. And then the shoot was over, and I brought the pigeon back to my studio, and I had a swordfish on my wall in the studio, one of those stuffed things. And I mounted the pigeon onto the sword of the swordfish. And then, like a couple of weeks later, I watched the pigeon start to move and started like crunch up, and I was like, uh-oh. And I called this guy up, and I was like, was this a live pigeon? He was like, oh yeah, I had to get a pigeon and like kill it for your shoot, and it's not stuffed. It was just like embalmed, and I was like, dude, I had this on the most popular kid in America, and I had it on his head. Like, who knows what kind of poison we could have? The whole thing was just hysterically funny. But at the moment,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
I killed a pigeon. Well, I mean, it's Hollywood.
Yay, do what you got to do for the shoot, whatever it takes. No, actually, it was a bit shocking, actually.
That is crazy. One more question. Is there a picture that was chosen by the publicist, the person, whatever, that you would not have chosen? You thought there was a better shot, but they picked one that you were like, all right.
Yeah, almost always.
Really?
We have our own experience with the subject, and I've got my own eye and my own version of really my experience on that photo shoot that makes something more attractive to me. So, but by the way, those are the pictures that I then show to get the jobs, to get future jobs. Yep. So I must be doing something right. But yeah, most often it's a different choice than you want.
Timothy White, Life Through My Lens. I adore you, and I really hope we get to chat again because you are something special.
Thank you, Amanda. I'll see you this weekend.
All right, sounds great.
Okay, bye.
Bye, friend.
Bye-bye.
You can catch all of Amanda's Bacon Bits on our website at the Radio Rewind section at myclallamcounty.com.
Have you ever clicked get a quote online and suddenly your phone acts like it owes someone money? 20 calls a day, numbers you've never seen, and not one of them local? I'm Dan Shappy with Farmers Insurance. If you're tired of mystery callers trying to sell you insurance, try something different. Talk directly to a real local agent who actually lives here. No robocalls, no strangers. We are real people helping real people right here at home.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers, Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Straight View Credit Union has been serving the Port Angeles area for nearly 90 years. The recent partnership merger with Great Northwest Federal Credit Union will bring exciting new products while maintaining the same team, location, and quality of service you've come to expect. We are anchored in the people helping people principle that sets credit unions apart. Federally insured by NCUA. Straight View, a division of Great Northwest Federal Credit Union, where community comes together.
Hi, this is Joe with Spudbreakers Baked and Loaded Spuds. We're all digging in Tuesday through Sunday with new late hours Friday and Saturday. Online orders and delivery available, or come to the trailer located on the corner of 8th and Lincoln, Port Angeles. Try our 2-pound overloaded spud or the new smoked beef brisket mac and cheese option, the one and done.
Come on in, Spudbreakers Baked and Loaded. We're all digging in.
Since 2011, Grocery Outlet has held their annual Independence from Hunger food drive every July. Head to Grocery Outlet in Port Angeles from now through the end of the month to partake in their 16th annual Independence from Hunger food drive. All proceeds are distributed directly to the Port Angeles Food Bank as well as the PA School District Food Insecurity Program. There are several different ways to participate. Donate $5 or more in a single transaction and receive a coupon for $5 off a future purchase of $25 or more. Purchase a pre-made bag of groceries to be put in the collection bin at the store, or donate online by visiting groceryoutlet.com/donate and choosing the Port Angeles store. Support our locally owned and operated grocery outlet right here in Port Angeles as they support our community. Follow them on Facebook at Port Angeles Grocery Outlet to learn more. Located on East Highway 101.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Welcome back to the program. Here's a different take on using OnlyFans. Only Marms. A research group asked for funding help by going on OnlyFans. Brad Milkey explains.
It's It's a tale as old as time. Someone trying to make their way through college needs money and turns to OnlyFans. You know there's going to be judgment. You know it's not the life you expected to be leading, but hey, it pays the bills. Well, recently that's been happening more and more at famed universities, not just in the case of students, but professors and researchers too. However, that doesn't mean there's always nudity involved, among humans at least. This is the sound of a marmot. These are chunky rodents that live across North America and North Asia. A groundhog is a type of marmot. This one is a yellow-bellied marmot that lives in the Rockies. Yeah, they kind of stand on their hind legs and scream at you. Anyway, for years, a professor at UCLA named Daniel Blumstein has been researching marmots, but last year, his funding dried up. So at the urging of some of his research students and volunteers, his team set up an account on OnlyFans. OF, as it's known, is almost synonymous with explicit content. At this point, more than 4 million creators have set up accounts, posted videos in various states of undress, and then charged different amounts for subscriptions. The account from Blumstein's lab is called OnlyMarms. On this profile, you are likely to see marmots tanning themselves on a porch, or frolicking in the grass, or whistling at marmots passing by. To be clear, this is all completely G-rated. The most exciting video is probably a marmot wrestling with a cage full of food. But just like any other OnlyFans site, this asks users for tips, and the researchers are seeing cash come in. It's currently hundreds of dollars, not thousands, but it is paying for those bait stations that attract animals to the marmot cams. And weirdly, this kind of speaks to how mainstream OnlyFans has become. More and more college students talk about how rising tuition forced them to consider side hustles, even risque ones. Some of them have been invited to speak in college lecture halls about the creator economy, prompting backlash about modern acceptance of sex work. And as the site becomes more normalized, more accounts are springing up that aren't sexual at all, whether academic projects like this one, or comedy, or makeup influencers seeking some direct donations. Small-scale fundraisers have turned to sites like GoFundMe in the past. Now some are thinking, why not OnlyFans? The Marmot Lab, Rocky Mountain Biological Laboratory, is coming up with other non-traditional fundraising endeavors. At one point, it helped launch a specialty beer called Marmot Tears IPA. Blumstein said he'd rather be spending his time on actual research, but as long as the funding streams are not safe for work, he will continue asking you to like and subscribe.
Hey, when it comes to transforming your home, color's everything. And at Angel's Milk and Hartnagel's, your favorite employee-owned stores, we've got the expertise and the perfect paint to bring your vision to life. At our stores, you'll find dedicated paint specialists ready to help you choose the right paint, stain, or coating to beautify and protect any surface. Whether it's walls, decks, cabinets, or fences, we've got the knowledge to make sure your project shines. Are you not sure which sheen to use? Need precise color matching? Or do you want to prep like a pro so every stroke sticks and lasts? No worries. From expert application tips to the best brushes and rollers, we'll set you up for success without wasting a single drop. And because paint quality matters, we proudly stock Rada and Sherwin-Williams crafted Best Look paint. Painting is one of the easiest DIY projects you can tackle, so let's make yours a masterpiece. Visit lumbertraders.com for more info, and as always, we deeply appreciate you for shopping local and employee-owned.
I'm Sophia with Clallam County PUD.
And I'm Michaela.
Sometimes a small act of kindness can make a big difference.
Especially for neighbors who may be struggling to keep up with their electric bill.
That's where our Neighborly Assistance Program comes in.
It connects community donations directly to local families who need a helping hand.
Every dollar goes to trusted local agencies and to our Power Pledge Fund. You can give once or set up a monthly donation of any amount you wish to give. Learn more at clallampud.net.
Looking for the perfect summer day trip? Sail away to Victoria, BC with Black Ball Ferry Line and experience the beauty of the Butchart Gardens, featuring 55 acres of blooming garden displays. Day trip packages from only $126 per person include ferry, the Butchart Gardens admission, and round-trip shuttle transportation. Plus, add on a traditional afternoon tea experience in the original Butchart family residence. Embark on your next adventure with Black Ball Ferry Line. Visit cohoferry.com today.
Need a new roof? Save big with Tri
Tri-State Roofing. For a limited time, mention promo code KONP50 and get 50% off new gutters with your new roof or 50% off a new skylight with your roof replacement. Protect your home with expert installation, quality materials, and a team you can trust. Financing available. Tri-State Roofing, 360-208-2222 and mention KONP50.
State Roofing, we got you covered.
Does the thought of stepping into a funeral home make you feel a little nervous or uneasy? If so, that is okay. It's very normal. Here at Harper Ridgeview and Squim Valley Funeral Chapels, we want to let you know that you don't actually have to come into one of our funeral homes to make advanced planning for yourself or a loved one. We can complete the process over the phone and via email. Greater peace of mind is just one phone call away. Harper Ridgeview and Squim Valley Funeral Chapels, because your loved ones deserve the best.
At the Y, strength means being together. Swimming, dancing, learning, lifting, or volunteering, to name a few. 175 years later, there's still no place like this place. Get involved at your Y. Learn more at ymca.org.
The North Peninsula's news, the North Peninsula's talk. News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. and Iran breaking the brief pause with renewed strikes. Iran targeting U.S. sites in Jordan overnight and launching drone strikes against a U.S. natural gas facility in Egypt. At the White House, President Trump vowing a response.
We're going to hit him very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized. But, you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
The war with Iran creating more uncertainty for oil and gas prices. The Federal Reserve Board voting 9-3 to leave interest rates unchanged for now. Fed Chair Kevin Warsh says the U.S. economy is showing some resilience.
The policy statement conveys just the facts. It's steering clear of forecasting, a choice we consider especially prudent at these uncertain times. Uncertainty, however, does not mean a lack of clarity.
On Capitol Hill, Anthony Fauci appearing before a Senate hearing on the COVID response chaired by Republican Rand Paul, the former medical advisor to President Trump during his first term, and also headed the White House coronavirus task force for the Trump and Biden administrations. ABC's Jay O'Brien says Dr. Fauci